when it comes to being overweight, I kind of classify it as kind of three little levels: slightly overweight, fat, and obese. Okay. Obese is anything like over 200 pounds, really. I mean, it all depends on your frame and your height. But most people, even men, um, shouldn't top out more than like 220 for a man, depending on if he's tall or whatever. But when you see glaringly obese people, that is a major health problem. And it's sad for me to see people like that because two things run through my mind when I see people like that. I see people that have low self-esteem, for one. They're either depressed or low self-esteem, or something's wrong in their life, because we all know the food is certain foods can be comfort foods, and we self-medicate with food. I get it, I understand it, but it's such a health problem. I mean, between diabetes and just the overall toll it takes on your body, I mean, it can cause all kinds of back problems, leg problems, whatever. I mean, it's not a good thing for you at all. And yet, it seems to be worse than ever. And what's interesting to me about this is because most of the foods that can cause obesity are fast foods, junk food. And in this time of high prices, those foods are the most expensive. You can't even buy a decent meal at McDonald's anymore, right? Which, fried foods are horrible for you. Processed foods, sugar, all of that stuff. So it's like, how can they even afford this stuff anymore, let alone eat it? But it's more than that. I mean, like I said before, I think it's indicative. There's something wrong inside that person. There's a void or a darkness inside that person to allow themselves to get like that. Now, I have a theory about something, and nobody listens to me, so why should I care what my opinion is? But I see a lot of these obese women out there. And I think, like, why would you want to be like that? I mean, because you see two different kinds of women out there: the narcissists that are, they weigh 110 pounds, and then the obese women. And it's like, why would you want to be obese? I mean, don't you want someone to love you? Don't you want a healthy life for yourself? Because I'm a firm advocate that love is not based on appearance, but on the same token, don't you want to put your best foot forward to someone? Don't you want to be worthy of, their notice to even get to the, once a person knows you, they can love you, but, you first got to get their attention. And like it or not, people can be bypassed for being obese. And they can have beautiful faces or handsome faces, but they're obese. And I think a lot of times people back off from that because they recognize what I do. There's something missing in that person to allow them to get like that. And I get the point where this is a comfort food and you need something because you're not feeling good about yourself or your life. But exercise is one of the best things to boost your energy levels, to boost your mood levels, makes you feel good. I can remember one time. I mean, I've always been I like to walk or cycle kind of thing, or I used to play tennis a lot. I used to ski. So I like to keep active. But I can remember one time I was into this cycling thing. I no longer have that now, but I need to get one. But anyways, I was going out with this guy that was giving me a lot of crap. And this was several years ago. And he upset me with something. And I got off the phone with him. And I got on my cycle thing. And I started cycling. And usually I would do 20 minutes or something at a moderate pace. I was watching TV and trying to get my mind off of it. And I was like, when I suddenly realized what I was doing, I was going like a mile a minute, really pushing through it. And when I looked at the clock, it had been like 45 minutes of this intense, you know. and I used to use tennis as the same way. If I would get upset about anything, I'd go out there and whack that ball. Lots of times I'd go to the high school or something and whack that ball up against the wall, just bam, just to get it all out, man. And boy, does it really, really is very helpful. And it's a healthy way to get out your angst or your inner demons or even your depression, because with exercise, it raises the endorphin level. And it's something to do with your dopamine or two or whatever that is, it just makes you feel better, I mean, you see these people that jog and they're always saying like they jog through any kind of weather, right? And it's like, how can they be out there when it's 110 and the humidity level is 120, and they're out there in the cold when it's 20 below zero? How can they do this? Because they get such a high from the exercise itself, and it becomes addictive. Like when I was doing all of this stuff, I had to do it every day. I mean, I just had to. And I was a much healthier, happier person. Recent years, I haven't been able to do what I would like to do because I've had some other kind of thing going on that I need surgery for. But as soon as I finish that surgery, man, as soon as I get in that recovery phase, I'm going back to that. Because it really is. I mean, it's cheaper than medication, and it's cheaper than fast food and junk food, and so much better for you. There are very little downsides to exercising. And one other thing I wanted to say about obesity in women, I kind of wandered there a little bit. I have a theory that some women intentionally become obese. I tend to think it's to be physically powerful in some regards, and in maybe other regards to kind of push people away because they don't want to deal with people. It's who knows what's going on in anybody's mind. All I know is it's not good for you in any way, shape, or form. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your body. Get out there and freaking exercise.